Why don't Germans use credit cards? Germans predominantly favor debit cards over credit cards, with 76% choosing the former. This preference is rooted in Germany's cultural resistance to credit-based financial systems. Germany's distinct inclination towards debit cards as the primary mode of payment, with only 24% opting for credit cards, can be attributed to cultural and historical factors. Unlike in some other countries, where credit cards are widely embraced for their convenience and perks, Germans tend to be more conservative in their financial habits. Historically, Germany has a strong aversion to debt, stemming from the aftermath of hyperinflation during the early 20th century. The cultural mindset has persisted, fostering a preference for financial practices that prioritize financial stability and fiscal responsibility. Credit cards, being associated with the potential for accumulating debt, do not align with this cultural inclination. Moreover, Germany has a well-established and efficient banking system that encourages the use of debit cards. Debit cards are linked directly to a person's bank account, allowing for real-time transactions and a clear view of one's financial standing. This aligns with the German preference for transparency and control over their financial activities. While credit cards offer various benefits, including rewards and cashback programs, Germans often prioritize financial security over these perks. The notion of buy now, pay later is not as ingrained in German consumer culture as it may be in some other societies. Instead, Germans value the concept of living within their means and avoiding unnecessary debt. Why do Europeans not use credit cards? Across Europe, there is a notable trend of consumers avoiding traditional credit cards. While this might suggest an aversion to credit, it's important to recognize that Europeans are not refraining from all forms of credit but rather demonstrating a preference for alternative financial products. Recent data indicates that Europeans are turning to buy now, pay later financial products instead of conventional credit cards. These alternatives allow consumers to make purchases and pay in installments without incurring revolving credit card debt. Rather than adopting a blanket refusal of credit, Europeans are embracing a more nuanced approach to managing their finances on a purchase-by-purchase basis. This shift in behavior can be attributed to a variety of factors. Europeans may be drawn to the flexibility provided by installment-based payment options, allowing them to better manage their cash flow and budgeting. Additionally, the transparency offered by these alternatives aligns with the cultural emphasis on responsible financial practices. The preference for installment plans also reflects changing consumer attitudes towards debt. Instead of accumulating ongoing credit card balances, Europeans are more comfortable with the idea of short-term, transaction-specific debt. This aligns with a desire for financial flexibility and control without the burden of long-term credit card obligations. Which country most uses credit cards? Canada boasts the highest credit card penetration rate globally, with 82.7% of consumers aged 15 and above owning a credit card. Canada stands out as the global leader in credit card usage, boasting an impressive penetration rate of 82.7%. This means that more than 4 out of every 5 Canadians aged 15 and above own and actively use credit cards for their financial transactions. Several factors contribute to Canada's high credit card adoption. Firstly, the country has a well-established financial infrastructure that supports widespread credit card usage. Financial institutions in Canada have seamlessly integrated credit card offerings into their services, making it convenient for consumers to obtain and use credit cards. Additionally, Canadians benefit from a diverse range of credit card options, each tailored to different consumer needs. From rewards programs to cashback incentives and low interest rates, the variety of offerings encourages widespread adoption among the population. The cultural acceptance of credit as a financial tool also plays a significant role. Unlike some cultures that may be more averse to debt, Canadians generally view credit cards as a convenient and efficient means of managing their finances. The ingrained use of credit cards for both everyday purchases and larger expenses contributes to their ubiquity in the Canadian financial landscape. Which countries use credit cards the least? Indonesia, Kenya, and the Netherlands exhibit the lowest credit card usage, with only 18% of consumers having used a credit card in the past 12 months. Among the countries with the lowest credit card usage, Indonesia, Kenya, and the Netherlands share a commonality, with only 18% of consumers in these nations having utilized credit cards in the past 12 months. In Indonesia and Kenya, limited credit card usage can be attributed to factors such as lower financial inclusion, a preference for cash transactions, and a historically conservative approach to banking. These countries may have a higher reliance on alternative payment methods, including mobile money and direct bank transfers. The Netherlands, on the other hand, has a unique financial landscape where debit cards and direct transfers are more prevalent. The Dutch often prefer payment methods directly linked to their bank accounts, aligning with a culture that values simplicity and transparency in financial transactions. It's important to note that the low credit card usage in these countries doesn't necessarily indicate a rejection of credit as a financial concept. Instead, it reflects the prevalence of alternative payment methods and cultural preferences that prioritize different modes of financial transactions.